rolling.
Yes. Where's your mic?
It's inside here.
Nice.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Habibi Marwa.
The new name. The new name.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be changing it by default. I can't wait to break the news to my family.
Same. Yeah, I can't wait to hear how they feel about it. Well, here we are
Here we are.
in Nîmes, where you
Central.
will be flying
Yes.
back to Angleterre.
Angleterre.
Yes, following a 16-day water-only fast.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. Whoa, indeed.
So, yeah. Maybe start by introducing yourself, bit of the context of your life and why you decided to do such a thing.
Yes.
And how did you survive?
How did I survive? Yes, my name is Marwa, or Habibi Marwizzle, as I will now be known. Yeah, so fasting and I have a long history. I did Ramadan with my family as I was raised Muslim when I was a kid. Up until my early 20s, I did the Ramadan really every year. I will probably return to doing it just as like a ritual thing, which is nice. And on and off, I've done fasting myself, 24-hour here, 3-day here, and I'd already done 7 days before.
Just water.
Just water, yes. Before doing this. So fasting is a state at which I had experienced a great deal of relief from what can best be described as kind of chronic IBS that sort of started around the age of about 15 was when I can noticeably remember me starting to experience symptoms of it and trying to cut out various things to try figure out what it was. But yeah, so IBS has been something that's been part of my life, which I believe IBS is generally what people are swathed with undiagnosable bowel problems.
That's what it means, syndrome.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Irritable bowel syndrome,
Yes.
syndrome of which your bowels are irritated and there is no
Some reason.
diagnosable source.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, oh yes, you will be living with this now. But that's not actually the reason I wanted to fast, not the reason. The main reason I wanted to fast was because I have had like what can best be described as a very sensitive nervous system. Last few years, it's been very sensitive indeed. And as much as I had been able to carry on living a somewhat functional, successful in the eyes of most people life.
Yeah. Successfully gone to work.
Yes, yes. It was noticeable, and it's really been, I guess I've been moving into this new phase of really directing my life in a way with more intention and more choice. Mm-hmm. But it felt like 2 steps forwards and
Yeah.
a bit of a yank back. So as well as having a hereditary condition, chronic IBS, which I had all gotten under control through my own research, diet, exercise, and life planning, it felt like I'd hit a ceiling where pretty much the method for my life has been extreme self-discipline and self-control. And this just did not feel like that. Like that is something I've been trying to employ the same thing with, and it just hasn't worked. I have done therapy, which has been immensely helpful, but again, didn't stop with this dysregulation thing. And, I think I could have gone down the route of getting pathologized and on medication, but I didn't want to do that. So the next step for me was, okay, how can I tackle this from a nervous system level? And what I noticed was after my 7-day fast, that I had about 6 months worth of improvement on my IBS symptoms. It also helped with my PCOS, which is a condition I was born with. And it also helped with my nervous system. So my thought was, okay, mind, body, soul connected on a level. What is the process that is talked about in all religions as a rite of passage? Also, fasting. So it felt like kind of a bit going back to my roots in not just a literal strip it all away and what's left kind of way, but also something I was familiar with, that I experienced immense amounts of gratitude and appreciation for life, food, spiritual connection as a result of it. So there were so many reasons to do it, and the opportunity when it came along was just like, yes.
So we'll talk more about this opportunity arising shortly.
Yes.
But first, just wondering if you might recall what it was that inspired you to initially try that 7-dayer, because obviously it's a pretty big difference between the typical fasting in Ramadan, which is when the sun's up, no food, right?
Yeah.
And also no
Intermittent
water.
fasting.
Yeah.
Dry fasting.
Yeah. What was it that led you down the road of trying water only for 7 days?
So I initially did 24 hours here and there when my digestive system would be particularly congested, and that provided a lot of relief. So upon noticing the difference after a 24-hour, it was like, okay, well, what would happen if I did 3 days? And then it was like, oh, cool. This worked really well.
So you did 3 days?
I did 3 days.
24 hours, 3 days.
3 days. And then I did, not 24 hours and then immediately went into 3 days. It was, I did, I don't know, 24 hours.
Broke the fast.
Like, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks worth of 24-hour fasts over 6 months. And then was like, okay, no, I want to do more of this. Then did 3 days, but the 3 days and the 5 days that I was doing, it was just, and even the 7 days, was just alongside my regular life.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, my 7-dayer was I did regular life full power during that 7 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense.
It was intense. And so there was always this part of me that had desired to deliberately go into the process with nothing but that, because of course, when you're embedded into the life that you've built with all of the patterning that you're trying to resolve through fasting, it's a lot more difficult to go through all of that as you're currently doing the things you built with it.
Being exposed to the environments that they're familiar in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me it went, I don't know, so many days of 24 hours. Then I did 3 days, and for me 3 days was just like, oh, I'm going to do a 3-day fast, and I'd just be like, okay, this. Sometimes I'd do it on the weekend, sometimes I would just do it on days I had less work. Yeah. But then the 5-dayer and the 7-dayer were just business as usual. And I did 2 5 days, 1 7-dayer. And then so for me, doing 16 days, as soon as the opportunity became available, it was a no-brainer to me to immediately take it up.
Okay. And so did you feel after doing 7 days that like you'd gotten some benefits out of it, but you could tell it could still be useful to go further?
Yes, I also wasn't particularly wise in the way I did my 7-day fast.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of it, I did a powerlifting set at the gym.
Ah, yeah, I remember you talking about this.
Yes, that was not smart. But
these are not allowed. This is not allowed on the fasts that I facilitate.
It was also not smart, but I felt so much energy from it that I got in the gym, was just like feeling excellent and just absolutely like nailed it down. And then obviously your body has got nothing to rebuild the muscle with over the next
not
few
immediately
days.
available, yeah.
And I didn't have work, so I just continued to fast for the next few days and saw the end of the fast out, but I was sideways.
Feeling rough, yeah.
I was feeling very rough.
Right, cool.
And that was a sign of a greater thing that I was working towards relinquishing anyway.
Yeah, right, yeah. That's revealing some of the more programming and control mechanisms, I guess. And
yes.
all that good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. And then this opportunity arose.
Yes, indeed. Yes, it did.
And when did you do that 7-dayer, roughly?
The 7-dayer was last year in like May, June time.
Okay.
Yeah, May, June time.
And then a few months later, what happened?
Well, I mean, in the November, I met this gentleman outside a pub.
Yes, a fine public house, fine establishment.
Fine establishment, yes.
And now here we are.
And now here we are. And I didn't even know that you did that yet, but it was like, hello,
yes.
Who the hell are you? What's going on there?
Yes, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty good timing then.
Very good timing.
Yeah, and so you...
Impeccable timing.
Yeah, I remember talking to you about it and exploring the length of time that you might want to go, and I was surprised that you were like...
I was just like, 16.
16 days. And I was like, whoa, okay, cool.
You were like, sure, let's see.
Yeah,
I was like, we're doing 16 days.
Yeah. And I guess from, maybe now's not a good opportunity to talk about how the whole experience was itself of the fast. And yeah, without putting words in your mouth, from my experience, like up until maybe day 10, 11, you were generally doing all right and were up and about and you're kind of ticking along and feeling pretty good on some of the days, as far as I recall. And then there was like 5 days-ish of just non-stop work coming up for you. And you got through a lot of deep things, which was, as far as I can tell, yeah. Yeah.
Did I ever?
Yeah, maybe, could you just recount a little bit about how you see that whole, how the whole 16 days went before the end of it?
Yeah, sure. So it was very interesting. I would say I've been quite connected to myself the last 2 years with like a complete like dissolution of identity in basically like what I understand was the programming of my life starting to break down in all ways. And so it was very kind of present in my experience anyway. So when I initially arrived, it was the first 10 days. Energetically, I felt great because, part of the things that I deal with generally, it's like an inflammatory disorder. So inflammation goes down, you start to feel a bit more liberated in energy, and I was feeling really great, doing a lot of physical activity and feeling good for it too. Not too bad in terms of like how I was in my body. Stuff coming up but stuff that was expected, I guess. I did a lot of art the first few days, something I did a lot as a teenager, and I could feel the presence of my teenage self arriving. And then, day 10, it was what I had understood that I was probably looking for was like what was residually being stored in my body that I didn't feel like I could get access to. And it felt like day 10, the lid was blown off of the stuff that I didn't have access to yet that's in my body. I've been doing all sorts of therapeutic techniques, somatic ones being it, but I think there was so much stuff in the way between me and it that by day 10 was when it started coming through. And it was interesting because I would have these like really big kind of epiphany style breakthroughs that would unravel a thread of things, which I've had, it's not something I'm unfamiliar with, period. Like I've had it many times anyway. But this was different. It was very bodily, and a noticeable change in my energy would happen, and then I would be in it and fully immersed in it, and not in any way needing to not be to go about my life. So I could really go into it. And then on the other side of them would be this upwind of energy. And on day 15, I danced for an hour. Do you know what I mean? Like there was energy coming through in a great way.
Yeah, I just want to touch on that. That's something that like, I think a lot of people that aren't that familiar with fasting, long-term fasting, don't expect or really know about that. Like when shifts happen, sometimes like you can be 2 weeks in and be more energized for a period of time than you were on like the third or fourth day, which is really trippy. It's really trippy. I've had that a few times. I remember a fast, in the Canary Islands earlier in my recovery, and it was like day 17. I had this massive shift. I can't remember exactly what came up, but I was like hunched over for hours as my body was bringing this stuff up from the trauma that I'd been through. And then I think it was probably after sleeping that night, I woke up the next day and was like, I feel like I could work all day. And then obviously the fast continues and you get given another round of whatever the body's ready to release next. But it's something that, people, it can be easy to think of it as if it's just going to be some kind of linear process of, it does get deeper as the days go on, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you consistently become weaker or more tired. I think that's probably the meta trend, is getting more tired and weaker, or feeling more tired and weak. But there can be, some periods of where you're like, I am very, very alive right now.
I mean, it definitely felt like that was happening in waves, which is cool. And I guess the heightened level of sensitivity to the emotional state as well meant that actually I explored such a range of different emotional states during that time that when they arrived, there was a definite difference in sensation between them all. And today, upon being just past refeeding, having a regular meal, I could feel an emotional...
Just had a pretty banging pizza.
Yes, first pizza. Oh my God, I can eat pizza. I can eat pizza. Oh my God. Anyway, besides, it arriving, I knew what it was. And I think that has been part of the difficulty in, I guess, the journey I've been on, and what I have been dealing with is very prolonged, as long as could be remembered, childhood programming and patterning, which there is no before from. So when these states start arriving, there's such an affinity to the state and familiarity that it's difficult to discern your natural state from it. And so,
because you haven't known much different.
So for me, it's been really useful because when the liberation would happen and my energy would return to me, and I would feel like the upwind and the energy to do things and the motivation and all these things, I would then get the feeling of the sensation of whatever experience coming on, and I could noticeably feel the difference in what that was doing, where that was in my body, which I had started to tap into, but it was like, it's like a whole another level now. It immediately lands where it is in my body.
Yeah.
And I can feel that there's something happening, as opposed to it being something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's wrong that needs fixing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been huge. It was my birthday as well, and it was great because the guys did the most. It was so good.
Yes.
It was so sweet. I didn't get
brought you an ice cake.
Yeah, and a bunch of flowers, and my sense of smell. Oh my God, it's so strong anyway. But during the fast, it was insane. Like. And south of France, everywhere is surrounded in flowers, and so it's just getting like wafts of flowers on the breeze. It's pretty special. Yeah, it was great. I had a poem and a song, and it was great. Yeah, best birthday present I've ever had. Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is such a significant part of why this kind of work is worth doing, in the things that you're touching on there about the release of the information from the body itself. And, I guess for anyone out there that sees this, and you, like you say, if you've gone through a bunch of stuff in childhood where like your idea of experiencing things differently beforehand is irrelevant. It doesn't really exist.
There's no before.
Yeah. Well, except for the womb.
Yeah.
And however many days or weeks later. It can be very difficult to know that it can take a lot of time, right, to understand that there might be things that the body is carrying that you or whoever the person is has done a bunch of the processing work up here, and from your point of view, as I can imagine it, it's just about like, what do I need to do in order to be able to manage my life and live my life? And how can you know that there's things that the body needs to release when that's pretty much all you've ever known? And I guess it must take time and an increasing sense of like, there must be more that's possible to explore something like fasting. And I've seen it so many times, and it's been true for myself as well, of like, people will do as much as they can up here, and of course in your case as well, like the physical exercises and other somatic work as well, but the opportunity that fasting provides for the body to fully allow information that isn't serving it to be released, I think is very difficult to recreate in other contexts. It's just so powerful. And I'm sure, there are other ways in like different kinds of body work, somatic work, yoga, which you're very familiar with, massage, Reiki, that these things can be supported and they can change. But when it's happening during a fast, and there's that level of sensitivity and that level of space and that amount of time and that like growing depth day to day, it's pretty mega. And like, it's just so awesome when those experiences happen, both for myself and seeing them in other people and seeing it in you, to see that like new possibility of freedom that's essentially almost or completely unknown, that this kind of process can provide access to. So that's mega.
I mean, as somebody who has done the depths of exploring I could have done without this. And we're talking sharing circles, we're talking somatic work, we're talking body work. I went and got massages, I went and saw specialists. I also went through the medical system and got no answers. And, you know, the next step in the medical system for me would have been getting diagnosed with ADHD or going for an autism assessment. And I have a lot of these diagnoses within my family also, you know, that already know that the outcome would be in favor of pathologizing me and medicating me, right? I didn't want that. I haven't noticed anything beneficial happen within my family when people have had that. It has been a lifeline and a last resort that they've resorted to, because the idea of exploring something like this is
Crazy.
quite abstract and alien, and also, you know, not productive enough, I guess, in their eyes. The idea of removing something as opposed to adding something in to help is like a very abstract. But, you know, I've done what would be the things that would be recommended in my situation to do, which is to pay for therapy. Somatic psychotherapy is what I had, which is exactly the sort of thing that my type of array of disorder would have suggested would be needed. Even work out 4 times a week, do yoga, meditate in the mornings, try get my routine in order, like do everything basically. So it's like, okay,
What's left?
what's left? Okay, what's left is get rid of all of it. Like literally get rid of, just give yourself an extended amount of time to get rid of absolutely everything and just have nothing instead.
Except water.
Except water. And see what happens. And it's the way to meet the things that you have not, you've just not been able to access or be visible. Because look, I've been very aware of patterns and habits and coping mechanisms and have come miles and miles and miles from where I used to be, like as far as I could possibly have got. But the pattern of needing extreme self-discipline in order to keep a state of equilibrium is not healthy, because it's not great fun, which is a bit of a metaphor for a lot of the stuff that's unraveled during this time anyway. But it's like, it doesn't have to be that way. And one of the reasons so many people, at least I've observed, especially with what I could be pathologized with, is a state of overwhelm people continually are in, because without these practices that they're doing constantly, they don't have a baseline to return to. They are doing all these things to be at a baseline. They're not returning to baseline when these things drop off. Their baseline is just all over the place.
It doesn't really exist.
It doesn't exist. So that's it. It's for me, it was about getting to establish a baseline.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And just to come back to it, like there was a lot, people's rhythms were very different throughout the fast. Bonjour. And some people would, you know, Annie went through a lot almost like every couple of days. For Arca, a lot of it came towards the end as well, a lot of the big stuff. But I just kind of wanted to reiterate that, like, from like day 11 to the end of your fast, just like, you know, I was with you nearly every one of those days, and it was something else. In one day, I'm pretty sure you went through like 2 or 3 like really significant shifts. And it was amazing to witness, and like just hats off to you for your resilience and your like open-heartedness to greeting all of this stuff that is
difficult to carry around, to say the least, let alone carry around in a way that like you don't really know what it could be like without, which, you know, has been very different for me. I had pretty blessed childhood, and yeah, all of my stuff that has been inhibiting for my life that I've cared about has came in my adult life. And so I've always had that sense of like, I know what it feels like to feel fucking good and free, and that life generally every day is fun, a fun adventure. But yeah, I really admire what you have been able to do and what you've been able to work through. And yeah, I guess like now looking back on that, like when did you break the fast? 9 days ago?
Yeah.
9 days ago, yeah. Like it's a lot to integrate, right? And things carried on during the refeeding process as well for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how are you doing now, looking back on that? And what does it mean to you going forward to take all of this stuff and these changes with you? I guess there's a lot still for you to discover because of the quantity of shifts that have happened.
Yeah.
And being in a foreign country, you know, going for a refeeding plan, there's like we were talking about yesterday, there is a strong element of surrealness to the whole shebang. But yeah, how do you see that picture going forward, I guess?
To be honest with you, one of the reasons for doing it, alongside wanting a baseline to be established, I wanted the baseline to be established because I'd integrated a lot of information prior about the fact that I wanted my life to change quite drastically to what it was. And I had already started instigating all of that change. And the thing about that change is, instead of it feeling like, oh, I'm excited for this new stuff that's coming up, it was being hit wall after wall with layers of fear needing to be overcome to actually do it. And I've been doing it anyway, because it seemed like the right thing to do and the right choice for me. And now I have no doubt about it at all, not even a single bit. Before, there was still part of me that was like, oh, but you know, like, is this the right, like, are you, like,
Yeah.
like, for change, like something pulling me back from doing it. Yes, there's lots to integrate, and the new system is updating and all these things, and there's a new way of being. I feel like I've softened a lot, and, you know, I've been through lots of different phases, so change is not something foreign to me anyway. But I feel so much more confident in my own action and choice, because what I could feel was I was at war with parts of myself that wanted safety. And that safety was coming at the cost of me exploring my life in a way that would fill my days with more to be grateful for. And I had gaslighted myself with gratitude over the last few years, just telling myself I needed to be more grateful for what I had already, that it's ludicrous to even want a change, because I understand how privileged I am in my life and have gotten to myself where I am. However, actually being able to acknowledge that I'd gotten myself to where I am in my life, but I was miserable. I was really, truly miserable. And it doesn't matter how grateful you can be about your situation. If you're truly miserable in that situation, you want to change, and you're feeling blocked from creating a change, that's what I wanted to help get rid of. And it's less that I'm rid of it. It's more, now I am stepping into my ideas and my dreams and my inspirations with more of a confidence that I can do it. Being able to see what I've already done as it actually is, as opposed to how I can give other people enthusiasm for theirs and not see mine with the same level of love and respect that I give others. So for me, it feels like what I wanted, I have gotten from this, and as much as there's going to be more change and more integration, this has been a huge. It's almost like
leap.
what I have learned here
Yeah.
has now embodied itself.
Yeah. Sort of matching up.
Now it's matching up.
Yeah.
It feels like coherence now.
Sick.
Whereas before there was a definite barrier between my body and my mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say perhaps my life will not dissolve like some other people's lives, because my life dissolved prior to this. But who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it will. But right now it doesn't feel like that. What it
Yeah.
actually feels more like is I had already been laying the groundwork for the life I wanted to build for myself. Now I have the energy to make it happen.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. This kind of theme of autonomy,
Yeah.
it's come up for a few people, and I think it's at the foundation of everything that changes for everyone. Really, it has some aspect of autonomy related to it, because when the body is carrying past pain, it basically is robbing you of your autonomy.
Yeah.
And it's a crass way of putting it, because all of it has its role to play. A lot of the time, from difficult experiences, that the body will adapt to the pain, and create additional protective programs in ways to help us deal with what's going on. And there is a beauty in that. But as you move beyond needing those programs anymore, that's when it starts to feel like you're being robbed, as far as I see it. And I think the process that fasting enables, whereby it allows the body and one's energy to find those bits of information that are like essentially doing stuff to you and your reality, which leave you very little choice to whether they do that or not, and very little choice over their influence. I think, that's such a significant part of both like the changes that actually happen, and also the feeling that people are left with on the other side of it is, this sense of agency, of autonomy, of like, I'm regaining a capacity for choice that is I say very difficult, it's almost impossible to be in touch with in the same way when there is patterns and information in the body and mind that are deciding for you, basically.
Yeah. And it feels like I was already in touch with it, and I had a taste of it, and I knew that it was possible because I was already making choices and already putting one step in front of the other. And perhaps, I don't know, maybe it would take me a decade, but I would have achieved being the wrong word. I would have possibly come to the
Made
same...
Made
some progress towards the space I'm in now.
Yeah.
But why spend the next decade having to 50 times reaffirm something in the opposition to what my nervous system already knew to affirm safety to me, when I could just move through everything, suppress the stopping. It feels like a gateway, the best gateway to suppressed bodily emotion and experience that I've ever experienced. And I'm not unfamiliar with these things coming up. I've created deliberate space for them. I've gone into a lot. And I think having had that level of groundwork already, it made even more of a prime candidate for this. Because despite all of that, there were still things that I couldn't gain access to.
Given the chance for the body to rummage around and find it.
It's great. It's like, and as much as it might sound a little bit like, I don't know, masochistic. I think I'd already made friends with the fact that these things were taking place, and I wasn't scared of them happening.
Yeah.
I was more scared that I was missing something than actually meeting the things that were in the way. So
Yeah.
having the readiness to meet it and see what it is, and be so sick and tired of feeling at war against it was like the perfect way to go into this.
Yeah.
But also understanding that, yeah, they've had a purpose. Some of them were like absolute ninjas in their execution of their purpose. Wow.
Sneaky programs.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
Very sneaky. So intelligent.
Yeah,
Bloody
yeah.
hell.
Doing its best to stay out of the light.
Yeah, man. Wow, sneaky.
Yeah.
But yeah, those demons are our friends. They're trying to be. They're like that annoying friend that doesn't know that they're better off staying out of it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what it all comes back to, that the body and the nervous system and emotions are just trying to help us, but sometimes they end up doing the same thing for a long period of time that is not necessarily helpful anymore. And fasting allows that kind of, or really supports the recalibration that people are looking for. So yes, congratulations, fair play to you. And yeah, I really hope you, well, I know you will. I know you will take these things forward in your life, and I hope it turns out to be an extremely supportive and helpful thing to have done, and that you reap the rewards of it for many, many eons to come.
Many moons.
Many moons.
Yes, it has been, and thank you so much. I can't express my level of gratitude for all the caring, support and love and service and everything in between.
You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, you've done a pretty good job of expressing it, I think. You know, got me a card that was really well designed, and some beer and a sick painting, and sorted out some more money for me. Marwa got a tip rounded up amongst the rest of the guys that are on the fast for me. So I think you've done a pretty good job of expressing it.
Good.
Cool. Well, any last words before you fly out of here back to Angleterre?
Angleterre, yes. If there's a part of you that wants to do it, don't hesitate. It was the best gift I've ever given to myself. And yeah, that's it.
Sweet.
Fast. Sensibly.
Yes. Nice one. Wicked. Ciao.